Tabs family, I am early. Where are you guys? I'm waiting for people to join. I'm kind of early though, don't it? Like a bit early. I'm not per show, no. 6:30. It's almost that time, guys. Every Monday night, right after the chill episode on the Asha Company YouTube channel. Hey guys. Hi Priest, JJ, what's up? Fabian, what's up? Empress Sue, what's up? Hey guys. Alright. I'm gonna bring in the hot people them right now. Marlon, I'm waiting on you, boo. Lyric. Walk on, girl. Hey, big boss, what?
You don't know somebody over there in the place.
Right?
After that episode, like that episode was so lit.
That episode there, the mix, I never did ready for the mix up. I never did ready for the bomb when drop. One serious bomb drop. Because every week people are talking about this mystery, you know. Everybody are talking about Mama and Mr. Gusto. It kind of looks sus. But I
The
guess
people them retarded. The people them, you know, watch out. Look who
yeah,
is
girl.
back.
May I try to pause my TV? Huh?
Pick up yourself, girl. What?
Blood cleanse self.
Jonathan is in the chat. He said this kid is not my son.
I
Oh
feel
my God.
out of this. This old now is yours.
I never did ready, but I figured Jonathan was Jeffy father. Yeah, but I kind of figured it, you know, but I was just being patient. But I know so the bomb was going to drop. Hey, I see Mr. Gusto online. Y'all laugh, you're a naughty, naughty man.
Hey Jason, everybody, welcome. Who's here? And Nicky, do the roll call now.
Hey, no, that's what boss is. Hello, I'm not gonna leave out my rich uncle, you know. My rich uncle has to do the roll call, guys. And I have to wait on the rich uncle. I want to say, bring in the rich uncle.
Bring me long time, man. Blood flings.
All right, I'm gonna bring him in the right uncle. I know you have a very easy spot in the mansion, so you won't have any Wi-Fi problems. Hold on. I'm gonna put on him expensive cologne ready for the live now. Richness, come bless with power page right now.
Hey everybody.
What's up?
Oh my the Swag Boss is here.
What's up? Hey, Lyric, what y'all say?
Well, go on.
Left where we know where you're going with.
I'm not telling you, but it's kind of personal, so you don't know.
But you remember, this is a safe
Hey Queen.
like today, you know. Go ahead.
Oh, God.
For the man, that one that did heavy.
Yeah.
What an episode.
What an episode. I feel like I watch Young and Restless, Bold and Beautiful.
These are our lives.
Everything I want.
Honestly, that episode was my favorite episode. We don't know, we just love that episode. It deals with so many issues, and it wasn't so heavy. You know, it's a little mix of what Jamaican people love, and it kind of dealt with the kind of thing, you know, in that some family. Yeah, like in my family, I have a set of family where we have a set of cousins who are also brothers and sisters.
I don't know other one that.
Yeah, but me I try. Me I try.
Check Dora and Carissa. Dora and Carissa, something like that.
Wow.
Wow.
Auntie Marie, Auntie Nama, hi.
Oh my God, he said name. Hi guys.
Oh
That Dora
my.
situation though, I don't know.
But look here, now we have a serious question. Jevy, clearly, there is something that Jevy have that we don't know what it is. Because everybody saw, like really? Like,
I think it's this year.
or
Well,
the here.
Probably this year.
I just
Someone,
think
yeah,
that
someone in the chat say must slick it back.
Carissa probably sample thing and then spread a rumor and then all the ladies are I don't know, but Jeffy have some though. I don't know what one. But
Look here, you know, say Marlon, them woman your body, you know, you see how Dora go on, and she bright with it, you know. She said, I didn't say I'm having you alone, at least I'm consistent. And that's how them I feel like that she a drop her skin.
But now like Dora is a careless girl though.
No,
Everybody
yes.
like Carissa, but me not like Dora. Justine, me love the door, but me don't like Dora.
No, the people in the chat. Then Mr. Gusta finally man up, because the people have been saying for weeks, you know, that Jevy is Mr. Gusta's son. And so finally Mr. Gusta man up and but look how mama bad too, you know.
Yeah, bad girl.
Yeah, she's my new favorite character on
I
the show.
know. She really come out from the episode. I'm not like. And me there because Mr. Go from him, kill this boy. Not him, man. That was hard.
She said,
Oh God.
don't ask me about him. Yeah,
Oh
him hard.
God. Wow, Antonian again in a fair
So,
scene.
So then,
man, Mardo for a time I say, oh, it's a man thing. Boy, hello, Mr. Gusto, and I say, oh, don't do it.
4 time.
Yeah,
You know,
4 times.
my Muslim brother told me that in their tradition you're allowed to have more than one wives. And so when you get married, he says that, you say, I marry you, I marry you, I marry you, and you're married. And then when you're on divorce, you say, I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you, and it's done. And then, the first wife, each set of wife have to have their own things. And so you schedule time for each one. What if you could try it in Jamaica? You just say, I marry you, and then you schedule the time.
I think that's called an open relationship here.
yes.
But
Well,
the man, them, you have to understand in that culture, you have to have money to support so many people. And they don't have the money.
no, well, in our culture, no money do it. The other thing with the B, but not the money. That is what you have to have in.
Bad. I mean, it's
Oh,
all
God.
and it's only one person know about it. Only the man knows it's an open relationship. Hello, on a go on better.
They even say that happened already. It's just unspoken and secretive. So
Oh, my
the multiple
God.
wives culture is happening, and multiple husbands.
It is.
No.
It is. But in a way, I guess it's part of our culture. I guess it's ingrained in us, but we have to find better ways of doing it because in some ways, even though it's innate, because we are Africans, remember the slavery messed up everything after that. So we have to keep some of the values and we are dash with some. We have to bring it full circle. You know what I mean? And at the same time, we have to do it safe. Remember, Mama told Mr. Gusto, all right, how much you work 4 times? So well, I hope you're getting tested and I hope you're protecting yourself. It's those serious conversations we don't have.
So what we say, nothing wrong with multiple partnerships.
As long as all people are constant, they're aware and they agree to it and they're keeping each other safe. I think there's nothing wrong with it. As long as people know what they're about.
I see. This is where blood cleanse comes.
I mean, if you agree, then fine. But I don't know if I ever agree to sharing like my man. I don't know. So, but if that's what you want to do, it's a safe place here on top. So if that's what you choose to do, as what Nick said, be careful, isn't it?
And I'm all about monogamy. I'm definitely monogamous. That's just my thing. But I don't judge others for their decisions. All I'm saying, don't deceive people. That's where the problems arise, the deception. That's how the evening news looks so spicy because too much lie tell and people get violent and one bag of excitement. No.
But some people want to fight stuff and some get bored.
Excuse me? Rich uncle, hello.
They said the people are saying that they need some spice. Some people say can't share. You know what is ironic is that a lot of people are saying that they want to do the one-to-one kind of thing, right? But one party must be allowed to go out and do their thing, but the other party must stay one-to-one. How is that possible?
Then they're not equally yoked, maybe, or they're just not for each other. Because you do have people who believe in open relationships, isn't it? So I guess you just have to search until you find out one or that. Because it's there, isn't it? I swear, Marlon say it's there. I said Fabian say it did it, but it's just unspoken. When the whole thing with Will and Jerry but there's a meme going around. Say someone go like in an open relationship and don't know it.
Entanglement.
But look here, I want to talk about the kiss. Oh, it reached there, so.
No, it did for it, man. Jesus, it was something, man.
No, Jevy.
That love story is not over.
No, me think that Jevy did want to tease Carissa and say, hey, see where you miss your girl? This is where you walk with from for 3 years. I pull her in and then dash her away.
No, man. I think she did have a good and a good volume that he couldn't resist. And she has the power there, that P-power there, and that grabbing. If we get more everything,
Everybody upset the space, upset mama, upset everybody. Every time she come around and see Jevy and she, that love story they don't finish. Him did well want the kiss there.
Him did well want the kiss. Me think Carissa did want the kiss.
Yeah, well.
More than Jevy.
Jevy did want it, man.
Jevy did want it.
Your swag
And
boss made
You
one
never
right
stop
roll
it.
call and big up the people because they're all here to see the rich uncle, you know. So I want you to shout them out.
hey, we are shout out everybody. Shani Bless, big up yourself. Empress, she says some people in open relationship, and they're not right. Big up Mr. Gusto online about him being offended after them have the 4 women, them 4 wives, and then still I call Missy after everything. I agree. Marianne says I agree 100%. I think some people agree only because the other person wants to do it, so they put their feelings aside, but it doesn't last. She's saying open relationship don't last. Psalmist Ray saying hi Nick. Nick, you have special fan though. Weird. Iris Queen. I saw on see on share with people on the side and some. Iris Queen, big up yourself. Big up yourself, Melanie. No negative vibes. Yeah, him can share two chopping him. I can't repeat that the one the way he must get chopping now. He can't that can't repeat for
You
life.
know him net back. You know him
In
net
a
back.
neck back. Thumping a neck back like what mama say. And him a lad, them a go on. Them say Jamaica for live, man for live. Boy, Pedro, big up yourself. Hey, Skids online. Skids online.
Boy, Skids
Look
with
here,
the
me
large
want to know
condom.
Skids. I know, hang on. But
Pedro,
Skids,
did a roll, you know?
Skids for the better because that kind of made it crush up and mash up like it in pocket. You know when the one where you carry in your wallet mash up and crush up for a long time? And Skids that
I beg
care
him,
work.
beg it.
I beg him, beg.
Beg him, beg that man. Never have that.
Look here, Skids. Go down to Tabs and
Yes.
get some
And
scented
collect some
condoms and
brand new
stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, go down to Tabs and get some scented condoms so you can start working all parts. Cause like you say, you want big condoms. Them have big condoms for the mouth and for other places.
No, for real, condom swag is a sin. You know, you can't have crush up old cheap condom. It's a real turn off, guys. Just to let you know, from a woman perspective, the condom need for pricey, expensive. It need for rare. It need for look like you made the effort. Like you think about it. You want to know. You want pleasure. Me, so you go buy the rib. You go buy the warming ones. You buy it from Trojan. You buy it from. So, you're not giving a cheap $100.
Me not understand. Wait, me not understand how blood cleanse and laugh. So stop it. You know when you talk to people about sex, and you know you talk to people about sex, and laugh. So what's here? Somebody a tickle you over there? What is going
No,
on?
because she never used a condom.
I don't. It just seems like alright then, and people got jump down my throat back. See it, but it's like a lot of work.
What you say?
Just
What
like,
you say? Got to your throat back?
yeah, them probably
What went to your throat back, Lyric?
them reach my back.
Lyric, you know, jeez,
Oh
So,
my God.
if you're gonna smash, I mean, like, just get one. I didn't know that so much things had to like, no dog, maybe no dog, every dog, no dog, every like 5 years. I didn't know. Like, so much,
Shani Bless says I'm allergic. I'm
mm,
allergic to condoms.
Well, she's allergic to the latex, but they do have plastic. So if you can't do latex, you can buy Avanti. Avanti is actually not made of latex. So you can try that, girls. All hope is not lost. There are options out there. Not all
Them
condoms.
say lyric. Lati Clark is a lyrical laugh because she don't like condom. And Chocolate Princess, listen, Chocolate Princess, I don't like using it. No, this is serious. A lot of people are saying they don't like using condoms. Then what? And somebody else, Mayoka Music said the latex, she's allergic to the latex.
Yeah.
And people are saying that. So is that a real thing? And how do people deal with that? Because then that's going to cause people to just go without condoms and put themselves at risk.
Are made of latex. You can check out this brand name Avanti, Avanti. Just check it out. Different material made that. So if you're allergic to latex, you can try plastic.
But sometimes it's not really, well, maybe it's not really latex. Anyway, it depends on also if you're using a lubricant.
Condoms too.
Yeah, some people are using a lubricant that's also probably not water-based as well. And that can also have adverse reactions. So you have to try a lubricant that works. Aries Queen, so when pregnancy come knocking at your door, you gonna love it though. And look here, Psalmist Ray says nobody know the love making in this time and age. Oh my God, is that real? Him say nobody know the love making.
Maybe
just cut and go through.
Maybe not love not in your life. Try that, fix that.
Psalmist Ray.
What is love making? What is love?
Psalmist Ray.
No, but what is love making?
Love making.
What is love making? It differs for everybody.
Let me tell you, those 90s R&B, that's like the perfect example of love making. Just put on any of them tune. They play some Boyz II Men and some Blackstreet and play some Side and just get into it. Hello, okay?
No, or you
But
put
love
on
making for me.
no, you put on Spice and Shaggy. Go down there, why
Yeah.
not go down there? Hey, go down there,
No,
why
I
not?
put on some I do and a 100 stab. That's a love making for me.
No, lyric, stop it. Stop it, behave yourself, lyric.
No,
She's
some
just
member,
laughing
some
like a
member.
social cat. So lyric,
The
which song we
90s
put
old
on for
music.
you? What
What was
song we put
that,
on for you? What
Uncle?
song we put on for you?
The presence of the Lord is here.
Oh my
Presence of the
God.
Lord is
So
here.
you call it the presence of the Lord? I said
Well,
so.
Yeah.
the presence of
Alkaline.
quite
Oh
interesting.
God, oh Jesus,
Oh,
that's my name. Alkaline. The presence of the
that's
Lord.
good.
The rod. The
Yeah.
rod.
No, God is in
What kind of
everything.
conversation is this?
Malan.
Off of this live right now.
Lord
What
have
kind of conversation?
mercy. Oh my God. People, are you hearing this? God is in everything. We bless it once it's safe
Yeah,
and once
yeah,
it's consensual.
yeah.
Consensual. We bless it. We
Oh my
bless
God.
it.
Yes, that I am very traumatized.
Gavin Bailey from Miami said back up with Spice. No, you have to give credit where credit is due. Go down there, why not go down?
You
It's
know
nice.
what?
It's a nice
No,
song. It's
all
a
we
nice
can
song.
do, we can do gauge dog in your
Oh
throat.
my God.
I'm gonna
Oh
switch
my.
topic, guys. Let's talk about the hot topics. Cause una distress me, right? I'm stressed. Let's talk about hot topics. All right.
Wow. What
What's
topic
going
hotter
on?
than chill this week?
What's buzzing? Marlon, ever know what's buzzing? Name some things what's buzzing. What going on in the space?
We going to them keep a private party and
New
the boat.
Kingston.
Yeah,
There was
the
one in New
boat.
Kingston too. The
Yeah,
capsize?
yeah.
Really?
Oh, that's what I said.
hmm
The
Wow.
private party. Okay, nobody not inviting me out, so I don't get myself involved in those things.
But there
So
was one in New Kingston as well. I hear that the police got locked down
But
after
them
10.
and them carry everybody open at the truck. That
Open
one.
the truck, yes. Wow, the people them serious. Them serious bad.
oh
What
Lord.
else going on?
I mean, them I try with the curfew, but we just not change. I think bro God for just give it up and let's just go back to normal. I'm just sorry. I just think we should just line up
No,
the vibe with them and just roll it out. I'm over
me
it.
love the curfew. Me love the curfew. Me not have a problem with the curfew.
Yeah, I don't mind the curfew in the week, but the weekend curfew I mash it up. And it's a drive the people them crazy. So all of them gone from both feet to capsize, guys.
Wow.
The lightning up a little bit. It's long now. We're entering year 2. We're all on for my sanity, you know what I mean? But you know, cycle. Anyway.
So the things that we got you, one more summer with the curfew?
Yeah,
Independence
Yeah,
and all?
I think so.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, say Fabian say party for keep man, Jesus God. It's in our culture. We can't just leg off ourselves. We can't just lock up in our house. People them are go crazy. The news report them are get crazy and crazier. More killings, more crime, and we don't even know how to address it. I just think that it should eventually go back to normal, honestly.
Fully
Who see pretty
engaged, safe
pretty
and dirt
birthday
and dirt.
party? Yeah. Who saw
Who?
pretty pretty birthday party? PTR. So pretty pretty was having a birthday party while Spice was having a show in Atlanta. Which
Oh.
one better? Which one do you think win?
Mm.
I saw a clip and the girls were not wearing shoes but they were in stockings. Budget cut?
No comments. No comments.
Right? You see, I'm get
No
quiet
comments.
right now. No
No,
comment.
no comments.
You just ask,
Right?
I was just asking.
No comments.
No, I'm cutting this topic right now because I'm going to bring on our special guest because Marlon ready for drag winner some mix up and I'm not about
Yeah.
I am not about this life this week. Marlon, that's why the people them watch your stories them can you mix up.
Mix up. Yeah.
No mix up, no mix up.
Uncle Moy tell everybody good
Yeah.
evening. Hope we
All
can
right, guys. Enjoy.
So I'm going to bring on our special guest tonight. Needs no special introduction. Everybody know her from a long time. I will love her, Tammy Chin. I'm going to bring her on. Tammy, I hope you're here. I'm about to dial you in. Let me see if I can find
Guys,
Tammy.
me not mix up. Me just ask the questions that everybody is
And
thinking.
Spice specifically I get that vibe there from you.
No, me love Spice. Spice is my number one. Hear me tell you, say,
Ah, Mrs.
hey,
Hi.
Hey,
Hi, guys. Hi, Lyric.
I should know my name.
Lyric, ma have your brush them. What you mean? Ma have your makeup brush them. What you mean? We use your makeup brush them every day. What you mean?
Oh my God.
Miss,
That was
please.
golden.
A romantic body. Good
Yeah.
afternoon.
We're in the presence of royalty,
We
Jamaica's first
are. We
family.
Hi,
are.
Mama. Hi,
First family,
guys.
meet the Mitchells. Meet the Mitchells, first family.
I'm
MCS
so happy
gang.
you joined us tonight. Thank you so much for taking the time. And boy, you just make lyric year a while ago in a lyric.
Yo.
No, I know lyric from a long time. Trust me. Trust me.
Wow.
I
Wow.
remember, you know, when was the last time I saw you in person, Lyric? And them time that I was too shy to come up to you and say hi and fangirl was at the Moby the Beauty Expo.
Kinda had.
Yes.
Yo, me see and I said, we can't just walk up to her.
I saw you and I was like, I can't just walk up to her and just hug her and tell her I love her work and all these things, can I?
Okay. Well, now you
Well,
can.
but I'm doing it now.
Shut up.
Me use your brush up to today. I brought the brush set the same day and I literally up to today I was using your brushes. Swear.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm never be it for this and that event.
Ah, girl, me either. I'm going. I was in the hospital last night. Trust me. I had to bathe today. I have gallbladder problems, and I had a gallbladder attack at like 2 a.m. this
Attack.
morning.
Oh no.
Again, so I'm trying to get surgery, but I had another. It's just horrible. After you have so much picnic, apparently, you get gallstones. Yay. You know, have kids, they said.
Setback. I have one, and yeah, you just kind of just said, all right, cool, no more.
Yeah. And then today, Wayne was trying to inveigle. He was like, maybe we should have one more. I was like, ah, and rob a bank.
maybe, maybe I'm not a girl this time.
I
To keep
mean,
your
if
company.
you know, I'll tell you what, everybody asked me that. I mean, it was one of those questions. Every time I'm pregnant, people are like, oh, I wonder if this is a girl. And I'm like, I wonder if you're gonna shut up.
But I know that you want
Um,
another son, right? You're not the woman
I
who
am
wants a girl.
happy. I'm happy to have whatever comes my way, as long as it's not, a puppy.
I
So
realize that
I'm
the
happy with
MTM
whatever.
family, are in the chat. Everybody saying hi. Big up
Hi
MTM family.
guys.
All the first and second cousins.
Yes,
Big up.
aunties, uncles, the whole lot.
Oh my gosh.
I have a question. How is Pepper?
Peppa is fine. You know, people are always wondering why Peppa isn't in the vlog more. They're like, yeah, Peppa outside. I'm like, people who live in Jamaica, the dog them live outside. All right, that's the first thing. Peppa is an inside outdoor dog too. She's inside, she's outside, but we're not. I mean, we also used to have a smaller dog who used to run around a bit more, but I think you in a strange way brought up a really good point that just because you see, maybe 18 to 25 minutes of our day doesn't mean that you see the whole picture. And so Peppa is all up in our Aki all the time, and we're running her out the kitchen all the time, and she's trying to steal food, and we have to, the baby is constantly around there trying to hug Peppa, and Peppa is fine. Peppa live better than me and you, yeah, man. Right now, I want to be Peppa. Trust me.
Like the dogs in Canada right now.
Yo, I was like, Wayne, are we gonna get like a golden terrier? A Jamaican golden terrier?
Oh my gosh.
I love it. I do believe that you should adopt dogs though. So if you are interested, you should definitely check that out. I heard a statistic the other day of how many dogs that they actually put down a day, and I cried. And I'm not like
Wow.
this massive like animal activist, but still I was like, that's shocking. So
Is
yeah.
like a specific reason or for just various reasons?
Just don't have any space, running out of space and trying to like fix it to rescue as many dogs as they can, and some dogs aren't doing so well, and yeah, but I think we need to like make that a thing where if you're going to get a dog, you don't have to go and get like oh God, for lack of a better word, a name brand dog. Like you can't go
Yeah.
get the nice.
Okay.
We all grew up with mongrels. Mongrels are the greatest. They never get sick. Like I tell
And
my
then
dogs
bad.
all the time. I'm like, yo, Peppa, the other day she run up her foot in something, and I always tell the animals because we have a cat as well. I'm like, yo, we have a limited amount of money we can spend on your wellness. So please, we have whole heap of picnic that gonna go above the priority list. So please, this is the amount. If the vet tell us more, we will go have talk. We're gonna have to talk. And they always come under the amount.
And cats are easy. I'm a cat person because, I mean, you can leave your house. They won't starve to death. They don't go crazy.
Yeah, but they also bring lizards and rats and snakes too. So
If they
I'm
love
not a
you,
cat person. Yeah,
love you. That's their sign of love. You know.
Yeah.
it's true. It's true.
From
It's true.
I usually just
Okay, so
smile.
Yeah,
remember this is not the
we
puppet
went
show.
all the way from
Yeah,
one side to the other.
Nickel. That
From
is this is Nickel's
condom to cat.
topic. And wait, but just before we get into the meat of the matter and the episode, we can't have it on the show and I don't say hi to Momo. I have to tell Momo hi. I
Oh,
like yeah,
Momo is
Momo
saving
is for
my
the
life
people,
right
you
now.
know.
She's keeping us out of this room right now. So yeah, she's my savings, my guiding light, my oh, she's like my mom. So I will tell her for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Mama from Chill loves Momo. So
Oh,
just big
that's
up
so
Momo for Mama as
nice.
well.
I will, I will.
Yes. So guys, are we supposed to play a game? Marlon, I hear that he has some surprises tucked away there. What is that?
Yeah, so this book is called Giggles and Groans. So it's like what do you call it? It's like a puzzle book. So I'm going to like ask some jokes, some questions, and you're supposed to figure it out. They're very funny. Um, them kind of difficult because I tried this today and it wasn't so good, but them funny. So it's all to getting a laugh. Are we here? Everybody
Okay.
here?
Okay, so what's the
Alright.
price? You have to tell me that. If you're
The
gonna put
price is. Wait, you not get the free can get the price.
oh,
We have our price already.
we're always
I
giving
want some
away. I
merch.
just never get any love. I was just
We
wondering.
can send you some merch, Mrs. Mitch. We can send you some merch.
Yay.
All right, all right. Where should I start?
Yes, where are we gonna start now?
All right. Wait. That trust me, they're funny. All right. Wait. All right. So three people are under an umbrella, right? Which one of these people got wet?
None.
None.
You said three people are under an umbrella.
Yeah. Which one got wet?
Is it raining?
Whoa, that's the answer. It's not raining.
I'm Jackson's
The whole time I
mom.
was like,
Yo, my mind went so I'm like, that's naughty for public television.
notification was
Oh,
ringing the hurricane.
Okay, I have another one. Um, what is green and yellow with two wheels?
What is green and yellow with two wheels? What is green and yellow with two wheels? I don't
Green
know.
and yellow, two wheels.
Say it again. He's trying to not say it again because he's like, I'm going to give it away if I say it again.
No,
What's green and
no,
yellow
with two
with two
wheels.
wheels?
Yes.
It's not what we think. It's green and yellow. This is too much.
Yeah.
Some.
Are you able
Give
to
up.
assist us? What is
Can we
that?
get a hint? Hey, tell I'm
Um,
very competitive.
Anybody in the
green.
comments can help out? My gosh.
Somebody said JUTC bus.
yeah, Fabian.
That's funny.
Well, no, this says, well, I lied about the color and the wheels. It's grass.
You know what? All right.
I like this.
So you're
mean-
never supposed to get it.
No. You know what,
Oh,
guys?
I have one last one. Why are you supposed to carry a pencil to bed?
So you can.
No, no. You got stress me. No.
Why are you supposed to carry a pencil to bed? I
Yeah.
don't know. So you can write. I don't know. I don't know.
Why
Pencil
should
to
you take a
bed.
pencil to bed?
Hold on.
Wait,
You know-
wait. So check the chat. The answer is in the chat.
A lie.
Yeah, the
To
answer is
draw
in
the
the chat.
Like,
curtains.
Ah,
Banana curtain.
that's
I only
good.
like yo. I like
That's
All right.
good.
Oh,
you
one
know,
last one. One last one. Why did the lion spit out the clown?
Why did the light? Because
Him
it
did taste funny.
tastes funny.
you know, I'm excited right now. Marlon, I'm going to my bed.
Yeah,
Marlon, can I get that book, please? Jackson would love it.
yeah, sure.
Don't
I'll
send
arrange
giggles
it.
or giggles
I'll
are
arrange it.
okay.
Mhm.
That's just a
I will
bit.
send it over with the merch.
Please. Thank you.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna bring on Monique as promised. That's where we're gonna continue our conversation from last week. So, as you remember, Monique is a representative from UN Women, and we had a little technical difficulties last time. So she came on close to the end, but the knowledge was so great. I just didn't think that it did her justice. So we have to return her for this week to talk further on the topics of gender-based violence. The main reason why we're here tonight, because we really want to spread awareness and we want to get educated on the topic as well, because there's so much to unpack. And for all the persons online that's been watching, chill week after week with us, on to see the excitement, on to see the heaviness, on to see the themes, and we're also seeing how it's relating to what's happening in society now. We've been seeing the headlines. I'm really sorry to get it all so gloomy now, from the jokes to the gloom, but we've been seeing the headlines and we really can't afford to continue ignoring it, because we want to ensure that everybody that watch tabs, as this is a safe space, we're all educated and we're all in the know and we all are empowered to make a change, because as we say, society not gonna change unless we have these conversations. All right, so unfortunately, because Instagram only allows 4 persons, Lyric,
Yeah, man, that's
you don't
fine.
mind,
Yeah,
you
man,
don't
that's fine.
mind, you know, I love you in the heart, you know,
Yeah,
I love you forever. All
yeah.
right, girl,
Bye, Lyric.
Guys.
and I'm gonna bring on Monique. All right, but stay online because I want to see comments. You know, so you always bring life to the forum. So, all
Uh,
right, Monique, I hope you're ready for us. Let me see if I can.
Okay, I have one more for you, Tommy. You
Yeah.
ready?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know when a ghost is sad?
How do you know when I go to set?
Ghost. Ghost?
That's me.
A
Yeah.
ghost.
Yeah,
Oh,
ghost.
because
Oh,
he goes boo. Yeah.
No, yes.
Tammy, I don't know
That's
what
crazy.
it's like, you know.
Okay, Monique.
hi, folks.
Hey, Monique,
Hi,
Ooh.
have
Monique.
you on?
Thank
Monique,
you.
I don't know
I
we
feel
did my
like
sister last week, but all she can talk about this week is Miss Monique.
Oh yeah.
Which
Oh
is,
yeah.
I love her. I love her.
We
She's
had
so brilliant.
I love that. I love that. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me again, guys. Nice to see you, Tommy.
Nice to see you too, Mama.
yeah. So guys, we wanted to like talk about another side of the whole gender-based violence conversation: raising boys. Raising boys, because it's, you know, we talked about so many aspects of it because it's such a layered situation. We talked about the whole issue of victim blaming. We talked about, you know, how it's affecting women. We talked about how it's affecting boys, and then we talked about how we're socialized to it. And realized another point is, how, what are we teaching our young boys? What are we teaching our young girls? So tonight we want to talk about raising boys, and I'm a mother, and so is Tammy. So we really want to learn as much as we can
We
about
do.
how it affects or how it can change what is currently happening in our society. So Monique, girl, you're bright. So we want to have that conversation. So Tammy,
Yeah.
like, even that you're a mom of boys, I mean, I know you have your hands full. Like, I know you have your hands full, and I know it's important to you to steer them in the right direction. Do you think it is? Do you think that's the main part of what's happening now? The main is that it's because of how we're socializing our young men.
Yeah, so first of all, I come here as a mom tonight, not as an expert by any means on how to raise boys or otherwise. So, even when I was asked to do this, I was very clear. I was like, guys, I'm not an expert. I am just Tammy doing her best. And here are some things that I've seen and I've come to understand and what I think. So, I just want to make that disclaimer. I find it interesting that, when we're talking about the issue of like, raising our boys versus our girls, there are some things that are just different. And different just because society said so. So, for example, you know, a very simple thing that I had to kind of work out of my brainwash, because let's just call it brainwash, because I feel like that's how it is, was I remember the first time I looked at Jackson, and the thought that came to me was, stop crying like a girl.
Yeah.
And something as simple as that, in that moment, I realized could be so damaging and so unfair to say to him. But that was years and years and years and years of conditioning that was now being verbalized out of who I am, right? And it's not what I really believe. And I remember having a moment where I thought to myself, why shouldn't my son be allowed to cry? And Winston is crying just for girls. And why isn't he allowed to express the 1,000 emotions that he has, some of which will be sadness, some not just meaning men or boys, where we associate them with just experiencing anger, frustration. We're always telling them how to, you know, pick themselves up and get back on the horse and, you know, whatever it is. But we never give them a moment to cry or to be soft or to be easy on themselves or to whatever it is. And so I think on a very base level, I realized through having my sons that, wow, we are raising girls very differently to how we're raising boys, especially on an emotional level. So while we may give girls some leeway to be emotional because we think, you know, they're allowed to be emotional, I don't think we're doing that enough for our boys. And I think it's being reflected in all that you see happening in society, not just in Jamaica, but across the world.
That is so true, Tammy. I you know even from my experience growing up, because I'm the last of 5 boys, so I brothers, and I didn't realize how much I was brought up differently from my brothers until like in my adult life when I was around other girlfriends and we're going around and we're dating. And then one night I was having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine, and I had to basically draw her up and say, you know, why you guys talk like you don't see men as real people? They're actually because the expectation is so heavy and it's so one-sided. It's almost as if they're just expected to be working blocks of steel and cement, and if you know they're not allowed to feel, they're not allowed to.
And similarly, even in that, like, you know, it happens where, you know, just even recently with, okay, so Tessie's daughter is the first girl of I think 11 grandchildren, so she's the granddaughter where everybody else are grandsons. And we were already teaching the boys that they have this very protective role of her, which is interesting, right? But at the same time, her mom is also instilling in her that she's to be protective of her cousins too. And it's the same way I was raised. So yes, I was raised with 2 brothers and 2 sisters, but we were taught to look out for each other. And it wasn't just because my brothers were boys, why they all of a sudden had to be this big, hyper masculine, taking care of. You know, we just program you to protect, provide. You know what I mean? Like, and it's crazy because we don't do that to both. And I think we have to just be aware that we're doing that, and then say, well, you know, why are we limiting certain things for our kids? And in this instance, it's really like emotionally. There's so many men that I get to speak with on a daily basis that, you know, just never get a chance to let down. They never get a chance to just, not even just have a moment. Like, they have to just muscle through everything.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
It is crazy. And I find that it's a lot more than just their emotional expression, even their creative expression. Because when you have boys, it's almost like, oh, you're a boy, you shouldn't do ballet. You're a boy, you shouldn't do this or wear that color. And
but it's okay for a little girl to play soccer. You know, and it's so interesting because, you know, we have we out there as women are gunning for our daughters to be able to be equal and to be able to do things that men can do. And I wish that some of us mothers would say, well, I'd also like my son to be able to do some things your daughters do without being judged for it or any of that. You know what I mean? Like, I say it all the time. I was like, you know, and I stand by this. If my sons wanted to do something that was considered typically female, I would be all for it, because I would hate to think that I was stopping the next biggest whatever, you know, or the best at something, or the most. Don't forget, you know, not too long ago, a boy couldn't be an artist either, as in like draw, and now it's like, you know. So meaning, I'm just saying, I would never risk their future because it was, you know, not okay for for their gender to do that. But
Yeah.
women
And
are, when moms
that
are
was
there gunning for girls to play soccer,
yeah.
you know.
That was I just touched on the topic. I realized that I could relate to it because when I was going to college, right? So I studied dance. So I have a BFA in dance performance and choreography. And I realized that when dance can be kind of like robotic, especially with ballet. So you know ballet, you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you're going
Yeah.
through the movement. But
Hardest thing I've
performance is
ever done.
different. Yeah, very, very structured. But I realized performance is different because with performance, then you're then asked or tasked to challenge certain emotions. And I realized that because I wasn't nurturing my emotions, see, whenever I had to perform, that was the hardest thing for me to do. To tap
Mm.
into self, to emote whatever the choreographer or whatever the teacher was asking of me to do because I couldn't relate to it. So I remember I was doing an exam once and I felt like the exam was beautiful, which the adjudicators commented that it was beautiful. But then I got the comment, it had no soul. And it was so true because
Mm.
I felt like I couldn't connect emotionally to what I was doing
Mm.
physically. And in the end, it kind of affected the performance because as a performer, you're giving of yourself to communicate with somebody, to help somebody, to minister in some way or some shape. But then I wasn't able because I wasn't being nurtured to it's okay to cry. It's
I
okay to
love
be
that.
emotional. It's okay to be all of that. I wasn't able to do that when I was trying to develop
I
my
love that.
profession.
That makes so much sense. And I never even thought about that. But of course, you wouldn't be able to connect to that part of yourself if you had never been encouraged to. And
Yeah,
that's why I say, you know, but I bet if them ask you if you do one dance where you can get angry or show that, it would have been really easy for you to do that, probably
yeah.
more so than something that needed you to, you know, experience another one of your 10 million emotions.
I want to
And
say the
there's,
easiest thing for me to do is to play a gangster role. I just wham 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 wham. Because that is
yeah,
something that you see so often.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
ask me to play a bad man role, I could play a gangster role, and I can go through it
Mm-hmm,
like that. But ask me
mm-hmm,
to be emotional is like stressful.
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah. And I think it's because as men, like, it's almost like there's this expectation to be like that on the outside all the time to society. So it would be easier to actually play the gangster role because it's almost as if everybody kind of wear that mask 24/7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will
And
return emotion.
I see parents actually, like, it's so funny. I witness it all the time. Especially mothers of boys, always like trying to hype them up to be these like rambunctious, um, you know, troublesome kind of like, you know, like something I even grew up with in my house was the boys play fighting. You know what I mean? And like my dad used to like referee those. So it's like part of the thing that we do, but it's such a crazy thing. If me and Tessie get in a fight, everybody was parting us all of a sudden, you know, because that's not what, you know, girls do. Um, but we almost sometimes want to like, you know, encourage that because they're boys. And it's, I mean, just even saying it out loud, it sounds crazy, right?
Hmm.
But if you start to cry or you want to, you know, pick up the pink crayon instead of the purple crayon, you're all of a sudden like, what?
Exactly.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, keep losing Monique. So I'm just gonna add Jermaine McKenzie. He's also representing UN. So I wanted him to just have
Sure.
a conversation, just so that we can have like another side of it as well to help us out.
Yeah, somebody even said in the comments the overly tough kid. I know exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You know, that's exactly what it is. And it's all because we're trying to sometimes take care of our own childhood trauma and make sure our kid isn't the one that got picked on because we were, and we want to make sure you can manage yourself. And it's so much wrapped up into it. You know, I tell people all the time, are you raising your child or are you fixing your childhood?
Yeah.
Because there's a big
Absolutely.
difference.
And then on top of that, how are we raising our boys to deal with girls or treat women? How are we raising
Absolutely.
our children to deal with different genders?
Absolutely.
I think that's where
Absolutely.
there's a lot of toxicity that begins even at our age that is just way too young. And
Yeah.
boys are able to actually are in the position to express themselves or should express themselves. It comes out in the worst way possible because they weren't able or they didn't learn to do it properly from the get go. Nobody knows
Yeah.
them along the way, or console them when they needed to be consoled,
Yeah.
and know that hey, it's okay to cry, it's okay to fall in love, it's okay to feel this way, it's okay for all of that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
especially for me, like as a mom, I have a boy, a young boy too. He's 6, and he's like
Mm-hmm.
so cute. Anyway, so I mean, I try to remind myself of that every time, like especially with how I relate to him. Like if he's gonna cry, I allow him to cry, but at the same time, I allow him to self-soothe, because also you have to balance things. It's a tough world out there. You're going to get yourself
Exactly, exactly. But that's what you would do for your daughter too. And that's where I'm drawing the line. Like, would I do this if this was a girl? You get what I'm saying as well? Because I believe that that happens with girls as well. You know what I mean? But I'm a big advocate. Like Jackson, for example. Everybody who watches MTM knows that Jackson is my super emotionally intelligent child. And he's a child who will be watching something with me, and it melts my heart. He looks at me and goes, "Mom, I feel so emotional about this right now. Like I feel like I'm gonna cry." And I'm like, "Go for it." But it's so freeing to me to be able to do that for him. And I see him like just expressing his emotions completely and unabashedly. Because
yeah,
no doubt at some point somebody's gonna say something mean to him about that. No doubt. But I'm hoping he'll be so affirmed by then that he'll be able to, he did say something to me the other day, and he was like, if somebody ever said something to me about that, I'd say, too bad that you can't feel the emotions I'm feeling. Like he is just like all about that.
Yeah, yeah.
And for me, that is such a big win. But I've also seen where like what I said earlier, I revert to my old programming a lot too. So if he starts to whine or cry about something or be overly emotional about something, I immediately revert to some old programming in me that says that's weak.
yeah,
And I have to literally be aware in that moment and go, all right, I can step back and give him a minute. And then
Yeah.
I can also say, hey, all right, that's enough now. Let's talk about what's really going on. And guess what? I don't do that every time. Sometimes I'm just like, me can't bother with this. Done.
yeah.
Boom. Done.
Yeah,
And go
yeah.
back. Because there'll be days like that. Ain't nobody perfect.
Yeah, nobody's
You
perfect,
know?
and parents are
No.
to be like the superhero, but we're not perfect. We have our
Yeah.
I
And let me tell you something. That's why having a partner in crime is so helpful, because let me tell you something, man. Like even being able to for Wayne to see when I'm about to go to the edge where I can't go back, and I just want
want
mash up the place. He
Yeah.
can step in and just be like, all right, let me just step in right here and help you with that. And it's something we're trying to raise them as emotionally intelligent boys as well.
yeah.
Because we believe that's where, we have to start. And then the next thing is, the relationship that we try to model for them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I remember I was watching the vlog once, and I saw Wayne getting emotional about something. I don't remember exactly because it was a long time ago. And I thought to myself, how powerful is that? Because remember, when you're doing a vlog, you can control what the world sees. But
Yes.
he was willing to be vulnerable in that moment,
Yeah,
just to showcase that it was okay for man to have feelings, or for men to feel a particular way about certain things till they bring us to tears. And I felt that was so powerful because not a lot of entertainers or influencers or artists or people who are seen as manly figures are willing to put themselves out there like that to teach a lesson or to encourage another young man growing up. That it's okay to be emotional and to feel how you feel about
yeah,
something. And I thought that was very, very powerful. I was like, whoa, yo, a real general Latino. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. And for him that was a big turning point in the vlog when he realized that he could bring his vulnerability to the table. And he learned something about that through the MTM journey. And that's why we're so, grateful to our MTM family.
mhm,
They helped us to create that safe space. So when Wayne was able to come to tears in a moment or speak about something as that was difficult for him, he was met with a lot of love and respect about it. And I can't speak for him, I can't speak for other artists, but I think, he's just at a place in his life where he's like, you know what is true?
mhm,
I am allowed to be the version of myself that I choose to be.
mhm.
And this is where I am on my journey now. And this is what I'm willing to share. And my sons are watching. near and far. And he knows it's not landing on deaf ears. I know who it's for. Who it's not is not. Some people look at it and think weak, what is, blah 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 blah
Right.
blah. But you
Yeah.
know what? We just don't go to those parties. We just don't sign up for those moments. We don't subscribe to it. So say what you will, that's you. Wayne is trying to live his most fulfilled life that he can. And that means
Right.
experiencing everything that he is, Michael says their vulnerability allows others to connect with you. And that has been the biggest lesson of this journey, that we can relate to each other on so many things that we're scared to talk about. And if we just allow ourselves to go there, you're going to find people there waiting on you. They're there. You're not the first person to go through this, and you won't be the last.
I always say there is always a community for every issue and for every win and every victory. And
Yep.
Sam actually said something that was really powerful. It said that, isn't it crazy that we try to dilute the human experience because of gender? And that is
Yes.
so perfectly true. There's just
Beautiful.
realistic expectations that's placed upon us, and it just don't make no sense.
Yeah, and both ways, both ways. So the very thing that, women are celebrated for, something like, or something we'd like men to be more of, let's take this emotional thing, for example. We'd love for men to be more emotional, but workplaces literally weaponize that emotionalness about women and call us weak and we're too emotional, so it's like, what are we supposed to do?
Can't please nobody. Can't please no one.
I don't know. You know what my son said to me the other day? I was walking out of a cafe with him, and I opened the door and I walked out and I moved past somebody and I said sorry. And by the time I got to the car, I said sorry maybe 2 times. He goes, "You say sorry a lot." He goes, "None of that was your fault." And I was just like, whoa. And that's something I'd heard before, but I couldn't believe that my almost 8-year-old was looking at me and just noticed that from the door to here. So me said sorry 3 times for something I never have to sorry about. Me just did I get out your way? Me could I just say excuse me? But even that is something that is like, how did we get taught to say to be sorry about all these things?
Right.
Especially women.
It's
We're always
Right.
sorry, boy.
Finally. Oh my gosh. Instagram just never lets us win every week. They're just, Jermaine, welcome.
Hi, thanks, guys. The discussion's been great. You don't need anything else, really.
I just wanted, just to have like a nice educated balancing of the whole topic. We've been trying to add Monique, but we're still having technical problems. But here you are, and everybody, this is a UN representative, Jermaine McKenzie. Welcome in tonight. It's going to drop some bombs for us. So, Tammy, all the questions that you have, put them right.
It's really been going good so far. I think one of the things that Tammy spoke to is that it really is okay that as parents, you're not going to get everything perfect, and that's okay. We as children, as young adults, we've grown up, and some of the things that we see our parents did, now that we get in even more information from social media, everything is so accessible. We know some of the things that our parents did. We now go to them to our parents. So there's always there's an evolution of how we are doing things, and we don't even have to hold our parents to task for some of the things that they, because they were doing the best that they knew how with the information they had at that time. But what that means, as we get the information now, as we know better, we have to do better. If we recognize our stereotypes, we have to change. We can't keep saying, oh, boys will be boys, make them stay, make them talk. Once you get the information, like how Tammy said, she get the information, you have to wheel and come again. Be okay with adjusting, with making the changes. And one of the things that came out to me that I remembered from your conversation is that when I was in school, there were certain subjects that I was encouraged to do, or some subjects that I probably even couldn't do because I was a boy, that I was probably interested in, and it would go vice versa. And you don't realize that even those subjects, telling boys and girls that you have to do this and you have to do this other thing, it reinforces that there are specific roles for you. You need to be tough. You need to do woodwork and carpentry and TV. And the girls, they need to do clothing and textile, and they need to do
home
food.
economics.
Exactly. Even if you don't care about that sort of thing.
I learned to sew by the time I was 6, and I never seen none of the boy them are sewing at the class.
I wish I didn't. I wish I had taken a sewing class.
Yes,
Trust me.
everybody need to know
Me
for
too.
sew.
We are taking all of my clothes and myself. We not pay a tailor.
The amount of money me would have saved because everything taken. But yeah, but some of those things that we think are simple, sharing the household, chores, things like that, really do make a difference. I think
It's
another
so
thing I would
true.
also encourage parents to do is know who your kids' role models are. Because there's a lot of debate these days about, do kids or do people actually mirror exactly what they hear in music or what they see on TV? Maybe not, but in terms of the beliefs, the attitudes with which eventually may shape behavior, they may eventually shape how you view violence. You might see something and you may choose to be silent about it because that is okay, and it is all because of all this information shapes the beliefs that we have and how we view women, the things that are the things that we say or intervene on or choose not to intervene on or be silent about. All of those things play into our consciousness and play into how we
Yes,
view life and how we view women.
That's
Yeah.
I
Jamin,
love
I want to
that.
ask a question. Why do you think we're experiencing the type of violence that we are experiencing now? So, like in recent times, we realize there's a lot of violence against women in specific. Generally, in our country, there's a lot of violence, but in recent times, a lot of reports are showing up about specifically violence against women. And like we're trying to unpack that, and I know it's not something that we can come to the floor with solutions about. But like, in your opinion and working with the UN, why do you think that's happening now?
It's a whole heap of things that's colliding right now. COVID is making everything come to the fore. People are frustrated. That is one answer. And I don't have all the answers. And then there is also, because of social media, because of the reporting, people are feeling more open to speak out. Then access to information is even more apparent. And there's also the notion or the fact that there is some amount of easier access to reporting and maybe a little bit also of sensationalization, because not saying that the things happening aren't real, but if you also realize that reporting is happening in different ways, the news wants to break what just happened yesterday, and oftentimes the social media as well as the media isn't even as responsible in how we share some of this information. And that is perhaps one aspect of all of this that all of us can have a role in. When I get the information on my WhatsApp, I see a video, am I just sharing it, forwarding it to everybody, not realizing that in that video, yes, there is a perpetrator, but there's also a victim. There's also a woman or a girl who has family, who has friends, who is in a school, who is in a church, who is in a community, who has to survive and exist in that community after we've all had the experience of using their story to amplify a message. So there are many pros and cons to this, and we also have to be responsible with how we are disseminating information.
Yeah, one of the things I always say is that because social media and everybody trying to get viral, I think that social media is not so much as of a community of support anymore. It's about getting viral because you realize that somebody always captures something. When the fight them are go on, when the argument them are go on, when the thing them are go on, somebody always capture it. Like on TikTok, everybody go on it, go reenact it. So it's almost like everybody's always there to capture it, but then who's there to support? Who's there to stop it? Who's there to intervene? Who's there to help?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think in all of this, everybody have to realize that I have a role to play. And it's not just the
Amen.
person with the camera who just see the fight, who just see the man hit the woman with the stool. You've now viewed it. What are you going to do? What are the
Yeah.
conversations you're having with your friends? When you see that as a mother, as a father, it's time to bring the kids in a circle in the living room to say, listen,
Yeah.
this sort of thing is happening in our society. I know you've seen the video on WhatsApp. I know you've seen the video on Instagram, and this is not okay. It's an opportunity to have that red table talk inside the family home, inside the churches, inside our parliaments. And if it's not happening, it means that we are being silent and we are being part of the problem as bystanders.
And also, Jermaine, there was a very important question from the chat. Someone was asking, is there any advice for single mothers who are raising boys, you know, especially if you don't have that family support to even have that full circle chat. There's no balance there. You know, how do we steer single parents in teaching them these values that they actually need to have?
You know, I'm really glad that you also added single parents, because
Yes.
oftentimes, and I would say there are a lot more single mothers, but there's always a challenge raising a child on your own, whether you're a mom or a dad. And the truth is
Or
that
a grandmother or an
a
aunt
grandmother or an auntie or an uncle or a grandmother,
or a
right?
sibling.
Or a sibling like Bebo, who had to raise 5 of his sibling, right?
Right.
Yes.
But it's not easy, and I will admit that there aren't enough resources out there for parents. We will share on our platforms. UNICEF has partnered with the government to have these parenting support lines that are available across the island, so you can pick up your phone. There are resources like Tabs and E4Life and JASL and JN Plus that support. And it's not just about, you know, the sexual health and everything, but with all the different issues that affect you, that impact how you treat your health. Many of these organizations are available and out there to help you. First of all, so you have to admit and be okay with saying, you know, I don't know what to do. A lot of parents get vulnerable in saying, you know what? Me don't know what I'm going to do. And if you're able to admit and be vulnerable enough to say, you know, I'm having this challenge with my son, with my daughter, with my niece, then the resources start to open up and you start reaching out to help, and help finds you. Trust me.
That is true. I would just have to be in the mindset, because the thing is, a lot of us tend to forget, even with parenting. A lot of parents are unpacking their trauma while raising their child.
All day long. All day long.
And when once it is that you are aware that you're unpacking trauma, get help. We're in the information age, so I mean, sometimes it sounds tough, but we have to be more responsible. We have to let go of denial. We have to center ourselves and understand that the change starts with you. Otherwise, you're going to continue this vicious cycle where there's just no change, or we'll continue the violence, or we'll continue the trauma, or we'll continue the bad behaviors and all of that. You have denial.
I think something we love to say, especially our generation, is, well, I went through XYZ and I turned out okay. Well, I turned out okay-ish. But to justify some of our own behavior, and you're so right what you said, like I said, you know, it's not, parenting is this great, like the way you parent is 95% the way you are parented.
True.
And we're trying our best to kind of fix that on the way. And so, like I said to you earlier, like I'm constantly going between, you know, am I raising the child who is in front of me, or am I trying to fix my childhood here? Also, am I raising the child in front of me, or am I raising who I would like him to be? Because that's a different thing again. And I think that's another big thing that, like, we have a hard time with, especially, you know, whether you have a boy or a girl, raising the child that is in front of you, and not putting all of your hopes and dreams into this child. So, you know, you didn't get to do XYZ, so you want everything. We always say we want the best for our child, and we haven't considered what the best for our child might be, or that the best for our child might not be our story for this child.
Yes.
The best for my child might not be to become a doctor.
Yes.
The best for my child might be something completely different. And so I think even if we change that narrative a little bit about trying to, you know, create happy people, to create, you know, good citizens of this earth, to create kind people, compassionate people, driven people, will have a better chance at many things.
Yes, that's so true. Raise people. We should put a shirt. I like that one. We should raise happy people.
Well, you see,
that's the fact.
Some of the times that I realize is that we don't really give, not all the time we give our young ones credit, because and trust that they're also going through a process of finding themselves. Because I realized that by the age of 6, I kind of knew what my interests were. It was like naturally. I knew I love church. I love going to church. My mother never forced me to go to church. It was something, and if I never get to go to church, we wake up and cry because they never carry me to church. Yeah, it was something that I know that I like directing the choir. That's something that I like to do naturally. Like someone that I like to do naturally, and like sometimes like what you said, Tommy, is that sometimes our parents or as parents were parenting how we were parented,
Yeah.
and that yes, that's something that growing up I used to hear all the time. And my mother used to do this, and none of them happened to me, so nothing like that happened to you. But it's like different strokes for different folks because I'm of a new generation. I'm socializing with different types of people from different environments and different homes. So my experience is totally different. And
Mm-hmm.
while I'm trying to find myself and figure myself out and who I want to be in this world, I'm also trying to accept and to learn from what you're giving to me. So it just kind of makes things complicated. By the time I was 16, my mother said me have demons. But I never have the demons. I was just trying
Mm.
to figure things out. I was just trying
Mm-hmm.
to figure things
And
out.
and I'm almost 38, right, guys? And let me tell you something. Because Wayne's little brother lives with us. It's a big part of our family, our everyday life. He just turned 18. I'm having the hardest time remembering what it was like to be 18. So this is something I catch myself with all the time. I'm like, but him can't just be in the room all day. But don't XYZ must happen and X, and then I forget sometimes when I was a teenager how I felt so misunderstood sometimes, and how people never did it, and how I wanted to just be in my brain sometimes, and it was hard for me to have to operate in the family unit sometimes. Like, we forget, you know. And let me tell you, as they get older, it gets harder. I feel like now when the boys are little, it's a little bit easier, but I'm already seeing, when they grow into those teenage years, especially with boys, they revert. They literally, I mean, and every mother to a son says it, like, there comes an age where your son just does this. He's this bright, da 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 da, in your face, da da, and then he just goes, and you have to be there for that process too. And how do we trust that process? And how do we, and this is a question for you, Jermaine, how do we, let go when it's time to let go, and let processes happen, and let them figure things out as well? And when do we learn to just let go of the reins and realize that it's not our lives to live either? It's a difficult thing, and I imagine parents really really feel that.
I think one of the things we have to remember, and it hit me when Marlon said that he knew what he wanted to be very early, is that realizing that children are whole people.
They
they're
are.
whole human beings with feelings, and they're here not to be to be worker bees in the home. They're here to be taught to be compassionate human beings and to be
Yeah.
fully functioning adults, because they will
What does
have to
that mean? Them have to
function in
work in
this
the
world.
home to do, right? Can we
Of
have
course,
them
but
a clean and a cook and a wash and a iron? Because them are gonna need them skills there.
they will
Especially
need those
boys who
skills.
think that women should do that and not them.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, absolutely. But also encourage us to listen to our kids, and listen to children, and listen to what they want, and listen to the things that are coming up for them, and allow them to speak, allow
Mm.
them to share, so that you can also add the value and add correction where correction is needed. I'd also encourage us to teach them compassion.
Yes.
Like, the very root of some of these of violence is that we
Yes.
don't have enough
Yes.
empathy. Like, I think it was said in the last discussion that there is, like, maybe epidemic of insensitivity in our
Mm.
country. We don't always consider others, just generally, right?
Mm.
And while there are deeply, rooted issues as it relates to women and girls, we're just not a sensitive population. People living with disabilities, we mark them, we call them one knee, we call them 1 foot, and we think that those things are normal. And we need to start breaking up those conversations that when you project into or push into somebody, you're not going to come out to nothing, you're 1 foot, you're one
Oh,
hand, then those things pull people down.
Yes.
Words matter. When
Yes.
you in the house tell your son that the girl fatter should not come out to nothing, and you shame women, and you just objectify women, and all you're talking about is the woman shape and how she not look good and all of them kind of something there, then those things materialize in how the boys, how children treat each other on the playground at school, and then it grows and grows and grows into some of the things that we're seeing today.
And the thing about it too is not just our children are the people who see us behind closed doors. And so, our children are the people who see us when our guard is down. So maybe you wouldn't say that about the woman when you see her this about, even when you might be watching TV together. How are you talking about people you're even seeing there? Or how are you talking about your friend that your child saw you with that day? So we have to be so aware that, our children see the unhinged, the unzipped version of us, in other words. And it's again, I always bring it back to awareness. And if you can be aware, then you can start to say, oh, what is that? And oh, maybe I need to pay attention to that,
That's perfect, Tammy. Like, we are our children's first role models.
Yes.
And we think, and we often see it sometimes when you ask, you wonder, where she learned that from? Where you learned that from?
Forget they're sponges, and
Exactly.
a lot that you experience as a child, it affects you so much more greater than when you're an adult, because even there are some relatives, honestly, embarrassingly, I have to admit it, there are some relatives to this day, I have this weird feeling against them. And when I try to remember why I feel that way about this auntie or uncle and why I don't call them, it's some little foolishness that happened to me when I was a kid. But when I was a kid, it impacted on me more. And in honor of Child's Month, I have to say that was like a really profound statement when you said they're own as a person. And even as a mom myself, that is how I try to view my son. He's his own person. I'm only here to guide him through life. That's
and it's easier said than done.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, but it's absolutely true.
Yeah, and that's so true. But guys, trust me, this convo, I just love how it's turned into talking about our babies, because we're within Child's Month, so I'm sure this is going to set precedent for next week episode.
I see.
Parents of 5 siblings. So we can go to the conversation. So guys, we're going to wrap on this note because we are going to...
No, I don't know.
Before the Instagram police lock us off, because they give us limited time for the live. Guys, join us next week, same time, right after Chill episode premieres at the Ashley Company YouTube channel at 6 o'clock. We're going to come right back on at 6:30, and we're going to talk about our children, all right? Because them are the blessings, and this is where it starts. They're the seeds that grows into or flourishes into the garden that makes this world a beautiful place. So we have to secure another episode for them. Jermaine, thank you so much for joining. You've been amazing. And Tammy, we love you.
Oh, I love you guys too. Thank you.
This week, you've been a light. I love you. And Marlon,
thank you.
Boss, I love you too.
Love you too.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody who came on as well.
Yes, thank everybody. I just want to say thank you so much, Tammy, for saying yes. And just to come in on to join the conversation. And thank you so much for being vulnerable and for sharing your life story with the world and for sharing with us tonight and for sharing about Jackson and kind of like just encouraging everybody that it's okay. It's okay to be you. You're special. And yeah, I love that. Nice meeting you virtually.
Yes. Nice
Same.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you for
Tammy.
having
I
me,
hope we'll
guys.
be doing a lot more together. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
I can't wait. Jermaine, we're going to get but we're going to talk.
All right.
And if nobody told you today, I love you, honey.
Oh, God.
And all the top fun, just in case you never hear it today, we'll love you too. Every single person that's watching the live tonight, because
we love you guys.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
We'll love every single person that's been watching. Remember, join the Ashley Company on YouTube at 6 p.m. every Monday night to catch a new episode of Chill, and come right back on this live at the TAPS Project. And guys, if you need any help, advice, and sexual health services, 504-2119 is the number that you should be saving in your phone right now. That's 504-2119. Send us a message. We love you guys. Until next week, I'm your girl, the amazing Nix, and that was
Brian Anthony.
all right. All right, guys, next week. Bye-bye. We love you.
Bye, guys.